I tell you, a lot of excitement happening here on the morning show. That if you only see the setup, but it's because we're stepping into a different reality, virtual reality. We have guests from Montserrat, Fourth Dimension, I believe is the name, Carlin, Braffett, and Geraldine Brown. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, good morning.
And you're here for Carifesta
Yes,
as part of the contingent from Montserrat.
Most definitely.
Right. So, Carrie, Rishi, we have all kind of gear here.
Yes, all kind of gizmos.
Gizmos, yes. So tell us what's exactly happening here on set now.
Okay, so right now, we actually didn't have enough time, but we're actually booting up our virtual reality project here. So basically what we did, if I need to give you a little history of Plymouth, Montserrat, 1995, our volcano, La Soufrière, erupted and wiped out 2/3 of our island. We have no capital anymore. If you were to go to Plymouth today, get on a plane and head to Montserrat, you will only see ash and stone. That is all. So what we did was that we took all pictures of and videos from Plymouth before the disaster, before it was wiped off the planet, and we recreated it in a virtual reality experience where you could put on a modern technology using the HTC Vive, right here, one of the various virtual reality headsets here, and virtually walk through the Plymouth, the destroyed capital, as if you were really there back in 1995 before the destruction.
Wow,
Yeah.
isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it is extremely.
Yes. So is it that persons would go, it's set up as a museum in Montserrat, that persons will go and have this experience?
Okay, so the first time we launched our project was back in March 2018. So we started development in just September the year before. So we first released it in March, and we kind of had a very good reception because, like my colleague said, you can't really visit Plymouth today. That entire area has been wiped out. So persons my age and younger, we never had a chance to visit our capital. So this is the only way to actually
that is
walk
mind-blowing, Colin. That is so mind-blowing that you're so young, and yet a part of your history of guys, it's like Port of Spain being wiped out.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And persons saying they never have that experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we know if you go there today, it's mostly ash, and you'll see a few rooftops because most of the buildings are buried. So that may not be the most wonderful thing to take in. But now we have a contrast. So we have what it would have been like to walk through the streets. So we usually kind of want to pair it with the actual buried city tour. So you could come and see what it was like before, get a reference for all the buildings, because there's about a 6-story building in our model. Currently, 5 of those stories are buried. So by seeing this now, you'll have a point of reference. So when you actually go to Plymouth today, you'll go and see all of those stuff. Well, you'll see the multi-story building. The others are pretty much covered.
You're probably so excited to be able to offer this, not just to your country, but to the entire world.
Yes, because we had the volcano, but other islands have been hit with other natural disasters. You had the hurricane in Dominica, you hit Anguilla, Barbuda was almost wiped out. So we love to offer this kind of technology to the other islands, because even when we rebuild, it's never going to be quite the same. So we want a chance to capture how it was before and preserve that for the other islands as well.
So this project is mostly about cultural preservation other than anything else, you know? We today, like for example, we're the second generation, we're the generation after the destruction of the capital. So we actually, for example, for me, I was born 1 year before the eruption, so I was a little baby.
You have no
I
idea
have no
of
reference anymore. And the only reason that I know so much about our past is because I was one of the members who did all the research and helped to put this project together. So for the new generation, ones coming after us, they will have nothing, no reference. For example, like I said, if I never did it, the persons on my age who never did this project and don't know the information won't be able to pass it on to their children, so then Montserrat's history will be lost. Imagine 2 generations in the future where this history isn't kept. People would just wonder, what's with these abandoned buildings? These buildings don't make any sense to me. Why are they here?
And it's something that you can pass on to any country around the world. So we want to start, and I think Rishi has volunteered to, because there's no dancing involved in this.
Perfect. So yes, we're good.
And I'm going to keep my glasses on. I can keep my glasses on.
That is totally fine.
Okay.
All right.
So what's going to happen is that you're going to put on the glasses, or right?
Yes.
And
Yes,
we
the
will
virtual
see what
reality
Rishi is
headset.
seeing
Yes.
on the
So
screen.
On the screen, we'll show exactly what he's seeing. So wherever the headsets Look, you can see that.
All right. First of all, I'll teach him the controls.
Oh, there are controls to learn. Nobody
There are
told me this.
controls. All right.
Very simple.
Very, very simple. The only buttons you need to worry about are these two triggers at the bottom here.
Right.
You want to squeeze these two triggers here. You're going to hear a click, and you're going to feel it in your hands. Then you put your hands to your side and swing your hands like you're walking down the street.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all.
Simple.
So a lot of people, what we notice, they like to put their hands here and do it like maracas. It's up
Games
to
from
you.
gaming.
Okay.
It's up to you. So you should notice, pay attention that if you don't hold these triggers and you swing your hands, you won't move. All right. So now I'm going to strap you in. There you go. One.
This is exciting. I'm going
It is
to.
exciting.
We're transporting
to
you back in
Montserrat.
time. All right.
Free of charge.
Yeah.
All right. Very next thing, right? They're attached to your hands, right? So you don't have to worry about them falling. I'm going to ask you to let them go. And I want you to hold this with your hands and put this on your face. Nice and easy. Let me help you.
Oh, God, this is cool.
So let me strap you in here.
Can I jump in the water?
I would not recommend it.
Why?
So we have to get a visual of the screen
There you
so
go.
that we can see what Rishi is
All right,
seeing.
perfect. Now let me help you with the hands. There we go. Oh no. Now I would ask you to take 2 physical steps forward for me. 1, 2. There we go.
Okay,
Good.
don't let him block the screen because
So,
we have to pick up the screen.
Take
bring
a
him
physical
on.
step this way. There we go.
This is so
That's perfect.
cool.
All right. First thing I
Start
want you to
dancing
do
now.
for me is look to your left this way with your head. Look to your right now. Look up into the sky for me. Look down to the ground. Find your toes, which do not exist in this world. I want you to
I
stick.
can see the control though.
Yes, you can. Stick your hands in front of your face. Check them out. These are your new hands. This is your new virtual body, 2 floating controllers. All right? So, you see that red button in front of you?
Yeah.
I want you to squeeze the triggers and walk towards that red button. There you go. Nice.
get
and
it.
easy.
Let's-
On
No,
his way.
So let's
Very
get the
good.
screen so we can see
Very
what
good.
he's seeing.
very good.
Yeah.
Almost there. Get a little closer. All right, now what I want you to do, I think you're still a bit too far, because I want you to lean forward. Don't hold the triggers and push the button until it turns green.
How do I do that?
Just lean into it and push it. Good. Oh, you see it moved?
Oh!
Yeah. Got it. So what's happening right now? He's in our he should be seeing stars and so on. We won't be able to see that. He should be stars above his
Yeah.
head. There are mountains in the distance, and he's seeing something loading. It's gonna take a few seconds, hopefully, to load in the actual map. That was just our warm-up area where we get persons used to the controls and so on. So, anything you would like to ask us while it
yes,
loads?
so usually what would happen now is this, you can actually take this to people.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to go to a physical space to be part of this experience.
Is it-
You can take the same way you brought this to Trinidad and Tobago. You can take it to schools, or you
Yes.
can take it to.
Yes.
We're not
Yeah.
really limited.
Yeah.
And we're actually at the Carifesta booth. So we're
Yes.
in the country district. So if you can't look for Montserrat in the country district, you could find us there from about 3:30 to 7 right up until Saturday.
Right. Yes.
Saturday night.
So is it that it takes a little time to boot up?
Yeah, just because
Yeah.
I
So-
tried booting it up just now. It's just taking a few
Take a-
minutes.
So,
Yeah.
Hey!
Good. So now here
Oh
we
my
are.
gosh,
Like I
that's what
said,
Montserrat is, that's what Plymouth used to look
Plymouth
like.
is completely wiped out today. If you go there today, you will see nothing but ash and stone. Those buildings are all buried underneath tons
Yes.
and tons.
Can we see?
of
Okay, so
material.
can we take in a few messages and come
Yeah,
back,
no
and then
problem.
we'll take the journey
No problem.
into Plymouth.
Yes.
This is so exciting. We're gonna
I
take in a few
know.
messages and come right back. We're right here. The world of virtual reality. That was Howard passing in front of our cameras right there from Antigua. It's a buzzing studio, and Rishi is right now literally in Plymouth, right, Rishi?
Yes, I
and,
am.
And you're
I'm-
seeing what it looked like before the volcano, and we're getting to see it on screen. We're seeing what you are seeing on screen. Okay, so talk us through Plymouth as we
So-
see it here.
Basically, what's happening now? He's walking in front of. You see that blue bar directly in front of you.
Yeah.
That was one of the most iconic buildings back on Montserrat's history. Anybody from Montserrat will tell you about Piper's Bar. And on a Friday afternoon, I like to tell people again, I'm not sure if I should say this, but Montserratians, we love liquor just as much as Trinidad. So, yeah, we have a lot of rum shops. We have a lot of rum shops
Yes.
in Montserrat today and back then, and that was one of the most iconic ones. Right where he's standing right now is where
Yeah.
our mass would begin.
The
Our jump up truck
carnival,
would,
okay.
our jump up truck would set up right here. He's looking directly at the port over there,
Yeah.
and a massive black building to the right.
Rishi, turn again. Turn left. Turn left. Left.
Number
Left.
left.
Left. Go
Yeah,
left
so-
again. Go left again. I want to see what's left of the bar.
All right,
Go
what's left
again.
of the bar?
Go left again. Go left.
Yeah, that's the rest of the
There
city
you
that
go.
you're seeing.
Ah.
If you look in the distance over there,
Yeah, turn again. Turn this way.
look to your left.
Whatever
Yeah.
Richie sees,
Yeah,
we see.
yeah. So there's a
okay.
green mountain in the distance, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's actually the volcano. That's how the volcano used to look back in the day. It was green
Yes.
before the eruption. Now today it's just
Look,
brown and black
left,
and so on.
We keep seeing right. Go left.
Let's go straight that way. That's the rest of the city that
Oh,
he's seeing over
okay.
there. Those are mountains in the distance, and all those mountains are accurate with today.
Right.
Today's life.
So if he goes, you want him to walk into the city.
Yes, let's go
All right,
towards the
so,
city.
So if you turn him back to go towards
There
the
we
city.
go.
That
Perfect.
way?
Yes, let's
Yes.
go that way into the
Okay, so you
city.
have to walk into the city. Run. Yes, you're in the gym. Run.
Yeah, you're running up. So that building that is on his right, the immediate right, the
Yeah.
squarish looking building was actually our customs authority building.
Right.
So back there, that's where you go clear your barrels and all your goods.
Yes.
The next one next to it was called Sea Island Cotton, the one with the blue roof. So
Yeah.
obviously they sold cotton there
Okay.
and t-shirts.
All right.
Then you're seeing a rum shop on the left over there again.
So we get to actually see, and we see what Rishi looks like as we bring this program to a close. We actually get to see what Plymouth looked like before the volcano in 1995. And remember, you can visit Montserrat in the Carifesta booth number
With
booth number 10. And
Yes.
this is where we're going to have to bring it down.